All right, so session number two for the maths foundation to maths using the financial calculator. I hope everyone has a financial calculator which is Texas BA2 plus, either the actual one or the app Play Store as well as App Store app links which I sent to you. So in the last lecture we discussed about the compounding and the simple interest rate where you take the cash flow ahead, which we call it compounding. We can similarly take the cash flow back, which is called as discounting. We didn't do that in the last lecture, so let's start from that. So that's one point that we're going to cover today. In the last lecture, we simply took the cash flow ahead. We never took the cash flow back. Okay, so we just discussed if 100 rupees is invested for 4 years, then what will it grow to? Now I would be putting a reverse way to, if I want at the end of 5 years 500 rupees, then how much should I save today? Okay, so reverse way to get 500 after 5 years, how much should I save today? So which is called as discounting, where you take the 500 rupees from the future back to the present. So we'll discuss how to do that in the calculator. There'll be some one function of the calculator that would be known to you for this, which is called as inverse function or 1 by x function. Uh, Engineers call it reciprocal. I'm engineering background, so engineers call it reciprocal. Uh, Otherwise, you can say simple inverse function also. It's called as 1 by x function. Apart from that, we're going to discuss about a series of cash flow, which is called as generally called as annuity, which in the simple terms or in the practical world, it can be related to the SIP that we invest. At the end of every month, we have the habit of putting money into some equal amount into mutual fund, which is called a systematic investment plan. Similarly, you will also see the concept of annuity, that is equal payments. In the case of your EMI, the equal monthly installments is equal every month. So the amount at which recurs at the end of every month is equal. So take an example of SIP or take an example of EMI. The amount that you pay every month at the end of every month is same. So that is what is called as annuity. Uh, Although it's called as annuity, it's not necessary that the cash flow should happen at the end of the year. It could happen at the end of the quarter also or end of the month also. Okay, so we discussed ki if I want to save, let's say, 1 lakh rupees at the end of, let's say, second year, then how much shall I save at the end of every month? So for the next 24 months, how much shall I save every month to get to 1 lakh rupees at the end of the second year? So what is the equal amount that I need to deposit in the bank to get 1 lakh rupees at the end of the second year? So this is another type of uh, question that we're going to discuss, again, for which we will require a calculator ka help. Another function of the calculator we'll be discussing over there. So these are the two things which are planned, and then we will be discussing about the concepts of statistics, which are going to be quite easy, for which the calculator use is also there, but it will be little lesser as compared to what we are going to require for the time value of money questions. So starting with the discounting. So let's take an example. Suppose I want to have 500 rupees at the end of third year. Then how much shall I deposit today in the bank so that I will get 500 rupees at the end of third year? So let me just draw the timeline. So this is third year, at the end of which I want 500 rupees. So the question is, how much shall I deposit today? Today means t equal to 0. So today, that is t equal to 0, how much shall I deposit so that it will go to 500 rupees at the end of third year? Obviously, very easy question. Interest rate, let me say, is 12%. And if nothing is given, you will assume that it is compounded annually. If they give it, then they can give it quarterly compounded, monthly compounded, etc., or weekly compounded, etc. But if nothing is given, we'll assume the annual compounding. So what we do, we have discussed this, but we had said reverse way. The x can be taken ahead by x into 1 plus r raised to n. Instead of that, we can do it the other way around, where instead of taking the x ahead, I can take this 500 back to come to year 0. So instead of taking x from year 0 to year 3, I can take the 500 back from year 3 to year 0. For that, I'll divide, which is called as discount. So when you're taking x ahead, it was called as compound, which is multiply. But here you're taking 500 back from year 3 to year 0. So that taking back is called as discount or divide. All right, so 500 divided by 1 plus r raised to 3. Why raised to 3? Because I'm taking it 3 years back and hence raised to 3. And the R is over there. R is 12%. Okay. So what we will do in the calculator, we'll start with this 12% in the calculator. I mean, some of us will know that 12% plus 1 is 1.12, but we'll do it in like a proper fashion, so that even if that 12% is like 12.18%, then we'll still be in a position to properly do it. So let's take the calculator. So press the 12 percentage. So 12 and percentage. This key we already discussed, percentage key already discussed in the last lecture. Then do this plus 1. Okay, equal to, I repeat, 12 percentage plus 1 equal to, then raised to 3. So for raised to this key, y to the power x, which we had discussed last lecture, we already covered this key, y to the power x raised to. So raised to 3 equal to, so that's the denominator. I repeat, 12 percentage plus 1 equal to, then raised to, that's the raised to 3 equal to. I think everyone would have got the denominator. Now this denominator, we have to take it up from here to here. Okay, so this denominator, I'm taking it up from here to here. And for that, there's a direct key available, which is called as inverse key or 1 by x key. It's just above the y to the power x. Just press that key so the denominator automatically comes in the numerator. And then in the numerator, you have this 500. So just multiply it by 500. I repeat it one more time. 12 percentage plus 1 equal to, then press raised to 3 equal to, so that was your denominator, 1 plus 12% raised to 3. Then to take it up, you have to press this key called as 1 by x. So press that key 1 by x. And then the answer has come in the numerator. And now in the numerator, you have this 500. So multiplied by 500. So into 500. So around 356, that means you need to deposit 356 rupees in a bank, which after 3 years, because of the interest of 12%, will grow to 500. The 356 rupees along with the interest for 3 years will grow to 500 rupees. Anyone who couldn't do it, just let me know. For others, I'm just taking the poll. I'm not going to take few more questions like this for practice. But anyone at this point of time has not got that, just mark no in the poll as well as just raise hand. Even if you are raising, like, even if I'm marking kind of understood, still raise hand. I just want to see. All right, one guy says kind of understood, rest others, it's clear. I repeat, everyone should answer the poll. I would need to see if everyone has understood or not. All right, so 2 guys mentioned kind of understood and 2 guys says no. All right, fine. All those people who have mentioned kind of understood or no, please raise hand so that I'll get to know that I need to focus on you guys. So please raise hand if you have mentioned kind of understood or no. I'm going to take a few more examples where you will understand it. So let's say, but please raise hand, guys. I want you to raise hand, please. All right. So let's say I want to accumulate 600 rupees at the end of 7 years. I want to accumulate 600 rupees at the end of 7th year. How much shall I deposit today? Today means t equal to 0. How much shall I deposit today? If the bank is offering 6% rate of return. Okay, so in this case, what we'll do is we'll take the 600 back because we don't know this X. So we can't take that ahead. Had we known that, we would have tried to take it ahead, but we don't know it. So we take this 600 and we will take it back like this to year 0. So it will be 600. As we're taking it back, it would be divided by, which is called as discounting, divided by 1 plus R. And I'm taking it back from the 7th year to the 0th year, and hence it will be raised to 7. And that R is 6%, which is given over here. Okay, so let's start with the calculators. Let's press 6% first. So I'm going to press this 6%. 6%. Then press plus 1 equal to, that's 1.06. To do raised to 7, press y to the power x. So that's raised to, then press 7 equal to, then the denominator is over. I repeat, 6% plus 1 equal to 1.06. Then press raised to, press 7 equal to, so the denominator is over. Now take the denominator up by pressing the 1 by x key. So there's a 1 by x key, so press that. So denominator will come up, and then in the numerator you have into 600. So press into 600. Which means you approximately need to save 400 rupees. You have to deposit 400 rupees, which will grow to 600 rupees in a period of 7 years. Those 4 guys, Dhairya, Aditya, Anjali, did you get 400 this time? Dhairya, Aditya, Anjali, please unmute and let me.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Anjali got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I got it.
All right, all of you got it. So, okay, you guys can lower hand. Okay, so one more question for practice, and here I'll just make a bit of a changes. I want to accumulate 1,000 rupees at the end of 8th year. Okay, bank is offering a rate which is 6.34%, but bank is going to give us monthly compounding. Okay, that's an additional thing. The bank is going to give us monthly compounding. Okay, and secondly, I don't want to save anything now, because right now my salary is quite less and it is just able to fulfill my expenses. So at this point of time, let's say my salary is not that good to have some savings. So right now, unfortunately, because of less salary, I'm not able to save. However, it is expected that my salary will increase, and hence maybe at the end of 2nd year, I will be able to save something. So the question is, how much shall I save at the end of 2nd year? Okay, so how much shall I save at the end of 2nd year so that it will accumulate to 1,000 rupees at the end of 8th year? So again, over here is X. So I cannot take it ahead because it's unknown value. So instead of that, let's take this 1,000 back. But please note over here, 1,000 don't need to be taken back over here because you're not saving anything at t equal to 0. You're going to save at t equal to 2. So the 1,000 needs to be taken back to t equal to 2 and not t equal to 0. I repeat, the 1,000 need not be taken back to t equal to 0 because you aren't saving anything there. You're saving at t equal to 2, so 1,000 has to be taken back to t equal to 2. Okay, so it has to be brought back from year 8 to year 2. So it has to be brought back by 6 years. Brought back means discounts mean divide. 1,000 divided by 1 plus r raised to 6. R is over here, 6.34%. Just a second, just getting a little space. And raised to 6. Why raised to 6? Because I'm not taking it back from 8 to 0. I'm taking it back from 8 to 2. So 8 to 2 is 6 years, so raised to 6. But the story doesn't get over here because in this case, the compounding is not annually, the compounding is monthly. So you need to go back to the last lecture. We discussed in the last lecture, whenever the compounding is different from annually, then we ask in a year, this was a monthly compounding. So in a year, how many months are there? Jan, Feb, March till December. In a year, there are 12 months. So few changes. This R has to be divided by 12 because in a year, there are 12 months. And this 6 needs to be multiplied by 12. So as the compounding is not annually, compounding is monthly. So we need to understand that in a year, there are 12 months. So this R needs to be divided by 12 and this N needs to be multiplied by 12. Okay, so that's the change, which again we had discussed in the last lecture, but this was for compounding, this is for discounting, but the logic remains same. R needs to be divided and N needs to be multiplied. So let's start with 6.34%. Let me do that. 6.34%. So that's 6.34%. Then divided by 12 equal to, then do plus 1 equal to, I repeat, 6.34% divided by 12 equal to, and then do that plus 1 equal to, then raise it to 12, 6 is 72. So no one needs, I mean, I think everyone knows the table of 12. So 12 is 72. But in case you get to know that 6 into 12 is, I mean, 6 into 12, everyone knows it. But in case someone doesn't, I mean, if it is 16 into 12 or something, then we will not be able to directly mentally calculate 16 into 12. So in that case, you know what to do. You have to press raise to, then open the bracket like this, and then press 6 into 12 and close the bracket like this, and then press equal to. I repeat, 6.34% divided by 12 equal to, then do plus 1 equal to raise to. Now you have to open the bracket, and the funny part with the calculator is, although you open the bracket, calculator display doesn't change. So that's funny or stupid part of the calculator's display. Actually, they should have shown a display that you open the bracket, but they don't. But we have to leave with that because this is the calculator which CFA Institute accepts in the exam. In the engineering, we had a 991 MS, which was a better calculator than I believe than this calculator, but it's okay. CFA should accept only this calculator. Okay, I open the bracket. So now 6 into 12. Then close the bracket. Again, calculator doesn't display anything even if I close the bracket. Then equal to. So denominator is done now. Take it up. For that, press that 1 by x button. And then multiplied by the numerator, which is into 1000. So basically, you have to deposit, or you have to save 684 rupees at the end of the second year, and that 684 rupees will grow to 1000 rupees in a period of 6 years from second year to 8th year. All right. So let me just ask you, could you get the answer before me? If you're marking no is still not clear, I request you to please raise hand so that I can explain one more time. I repeat, in the poll, if you are marking the fourth one, sir, not understood still, please explain again. Please raise hand. Everyone, please mark it on the poll. All right, one guy has not understood. Please request you to please raise hand. All right, Anjali, where are you stuck?
Sir, I got 960. I didn't get the bracket wala point. Can you please
explain one more time? One more guy has not understood. Please raise hand, guys. Those guy who has not understood, please raise hand. It's not absolutely. I'm taking the poll very seriously. I just want to know if you understood, if the class is understanding or not. So 85% of you have understood it. Anjali, I'll come back to you. 85% of you could get it before me, and okay, the remaining 9 understood it, but with my help, it's okay. Okay, Anjali, listen to me carefully. Just do the steps along with me. Just say whether it's clear or not. 6.34% divided by 12 equal to, are you at this step?
Yeah.
Okay, do plus 1 equal to, done. 1.0053 done, Anjali?
Yeah.
Okay, press raise to, bracket open. Nothing is happening on the screen, I understand that, but did you press raise to and bracket open?
Yeah.
Then press 6 into 12, bracket close, equal to, did you get 1.4614?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then press inverse, take it up, and then multiply it by 1000. You get 684.27?
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. All right, so this was one type of question that I wanted to help you to do that. And one function that you explored in this way was that 1 by x wala function. One final example on this, and then we'll move on to the series of the cash flow, which is called as annuity, for which we'll discuss another function of the calculator. But before that, let's take one final example. Okay, suppose bank is offering an interest rate which is 11%, and banker is offering, suppose, daily compounding. No bank does offer it. Okay, so if the bank is offering daily compounding, and I want to have 500 rupees at the end of third year, how much shall I save today? So how much shall I save today to get to the 500 at the end of the third year? If you're very confident, then go ahead. But if you have a little bit of a doubt, then hold back. I know engineers would be finding it very easy, but I understand, guys, that here I'm looking at everyone together. So commerce students will be finding the foundation to account session, which is happening next week, very easy. Over there, engineers ke liye I need to go at a very slow speed. Right now, the engineers and the science background students will find it very, very funny that I'm going at such a slow speed. But that's because the commerce students are not used to this kind of mathematics and the series of cash flow that we're going to look at later on. That's the reason I'm going a little slow. All right, so let's come back. So 500, I'm taking it back. So 500 divided by, taking it back means discount or divided by 1 plus the rate is 11%. And taking it back by 3 years, so raised to 3. But few changes, and that changes says this is the daily compounding. So we need to ask, in a year, how many days are there? 365. You can say actually 366 sometimes, but let's say 365, approximately 365 days are there. actually 365.25, but it's okay. Let me write 365 and then multiply this by 365. Okay, R divide and N multiply by the daily number of days. So press, by the way, any one of you have 2 decimals on your screen and not the 4 decimals? Any one of you has 2 decimals and not 4 decimals? Sanat, apart from Sanat, anyone has 2 decimals? Okay, Sanat, just press second dot. Sanat, please unmute. Did you press second dot?
Yes, sir.
What you are saying, D is equal to 2
Yes.
on your screen, D is equal to 2?
Right. Yes.
So press 4 and
Yes.
press enter.
4 and enter.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
And then press on off,
Done.
4 decimals.
Done. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So let's start with this 11 percentage. 11 percentage and divided by 365 equal to, then do that plus 1 equal to, then press raise to, then open the bracket and then you have 3 into 365. So 3 into 365, close the bracket, equal to, I repeat one more time, 11 percentage divided by 365 equal to, plus 1 equal to, raise it to, and then open the bracket, 3 into 365, close the bracket, equal to, then take it up by pressing that 1 by x wala key. So take it up and then multiply it by 500. So that's 360 rupees approximately. You have to save 360 rupees at today to get to that 500 at the end of the third year. Let me see how many of you got it on your own. Everyone, please answer it on the poll, please. Wonderful. Good. Happy 94% of you could manage on your own. One final question on the same line. I know you might be frustrated. Why one final question? But there is a logic to it. Okay. At the end of 5th year, I want 100 rupees. Okay. How much shall I save today? If the bank is offering interest rate of 8%, but continuously compounded. Okay. So that's the new thing. New matlab humne last time bhi kiya tha, but for compounding, we didn't do it for discounting. So what we need to do is this 100 rupees, we need to take it back from year 5 to year 0. So let me try to take this 100 rupees back from year 5 to year 0. And for that, we have to discount. That is divide. So 100 rupees has been taken back. So normally we'll do it 1 plus r raised to 5. Okay, because we're taking it back from year 5 to year 0. So it's 1 plus r raised to 5. But this being continuously compounded, instead of 1 plus r raised to 5, it won't be 1 plus r raised to 5. It would be e raised to r into 5. Because it is continuously compounded and we discussed that 1 plus r raised to n gets replaced by e raised to rn. So normally 1 plus r raised to n, but for continuous compounding, it's e raised to r into n. So it's e raised to r and n is, you're taking it back by 5 years. So e raised to r into 5. So what is the value of r? The r is 8%. So it's going to be 8% into 5. That is upar hai 40%. 8% to 5, 40%. Let me type it. 8% into 5 equal to, so that's e ke upar hai ye. And now if you have to do e of this, if you want to do e of this, after you get this, I repeat, 8% into 5, 40%. And if you want to do e of this, then you have to press second and ln. I repeat, 8% into 5 equal to, and then to do e of this, you have to press second and ln. Okay, so you got your denominator. One more time, 8% into 5 equal to, and then to do e of it, press second and ln. Ln stands for natural logarithm. Second ln will do the e function. Then take it up. And for taking it up, you know the function, which is 1 by x, this key 1 by x, and then multiplied by 100. The cash flow, the upper is 100, so into 100. So that's 67 rupees approximately. You have to deposit 67 rupees, which will increase to 100 rupees at the end of 5 years. One more time, 8% into 5 equal to, that's 40%. And to do the E, press second and ln. So that will do the E, and then take it up by pressing 1 by x and then multiplied by 100. Any doubts, or is this concept clear? Do let me know. Just mark it in the poll if this concept is clear. If you have doubts, please raise hand. Right, so it's clear to everyone. I repeat, everyone needs to mark it. 4 people have not marked the poll yet. I would want you to mark the poll, guys. All right, so this was one task that I wanted to explain you. Second is, I would want to cover a series of cash flow which may be or may not be equal. But if the series of cash flows are equal and the distance between them is also equal, then it has a specific name which I had mentioned at the start of a lecture, which is called as annuity. If series of cash flows are equal, but they are not spaced equally, the distance between them is not equal, then they are not called as annuity. To call it as annuity, there are two things. The cash flow should be spaced equally and the amount should also be equal. What's so specific about annuity? The questions about the annuity could be solved either via one of the two functions, which is called a CF function and the third row of the calculator. Okay, so first I'll talk about the uneven, that is non-annuity wale questions. Let's get to the practical example of that. Okay, suppose that let's say your son or your daughter is going into engineering college, which is a 4-year course, and fees in the first year is, let's say, 100,000, second year 150,000, third year 200,000, and fourth year 250,000. So first year 100, second year 150, third year 200, and fourth year 250. So in order to pay this fees, you are creating an account. Okay, you're creating an account from where your son or daughter can withdraw the money for payment of the fees. So the question is, how much amount you should put into that particular deposit, so that son or a daughter can sufficiently withdraw properly 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, and 250,000 at the end of the years respectively. Okay, so let's look at it. Generally, the fees is payable at the beginning of the year, but let me just take a hypothetical university which charges the fees at the end of the year. Okay, but generally the fees is payable at the beginning of the year. So, but let's assume for simplicity that the fees is being taken at the end of the year. So at the end of year 1, 100,000, at the end of year 2, 150,000, at the end of year 3, 200,000, and at the end of year 4, 250,000. This is what is the requirement, and the question is, in year 0, how much you should deposit in order that this cash flow should be properly be available to your son or daughter who is getting educated. So what is the amount that should be put over here so that this cash flows could be properly being taken care of? Interest rate that the bank is offering, let's say, is 12%. There are two ways of doing that. One a long cut and one the shortcut. Let's first understand the long cut and then we'll understand the shortcut. The long cut is you have these cash flows individually, look at them and take it back. This cash flow, take it back from year 1 to year 0 by dividing it by 1 plus r raised to 1, because you're taking it back by 1 year. So divide it by 1 plus r raised to 1. This cash flow, you are taking it back by 2 years. So divide it by 1 plus r raised to 2. Similarly, this cash flow bringing it back by 3 years. So divide it by 1 plus r raised to 3 and this by 1 plus r raised to 4. So take each cash flow separately. I repeat, take each cash flow separately back. This cash flow, you are taking it back from year 1 to year 0 and hence raised to 1, 1 plus r raised to 1. This cash flow, taking it back by 2 years, so divided by 1 plus r square. This cash flow, you're taking it back from year 3 to year 0, so you're taking it back by 3 years, so hence 1 plus r raised to 3. And this you're taking it back by 4 years and hence 1 plus r raised to 4. So get the each cash flow discounted back to year 0 separately and then add it. Okay, so then add it. So you'll get 4 answers, then add that 4 answers. Let's get the first one. R is 12%. Okay, so now we will try to be little smart. 12% is 0.12. So 1 plus 0.12 is 1.12. Okay, R is 12%. So that's 0.12. So plus 1 is 1.12. But sir, what if R would have been something like 12.81%? Then how will we smart? Understand, if R is 12.81 or anything like some percentage like this, suppose R would have been 12.34%, then what would be 1 plus R? How to do that? Okay, let's look at it like this. Everyone knows what is 12% plus 1. 12% plus 1, everyone knows it. 12% is 0.12 and plus 1 is 1.12. 12% 0.12 plus 1 is 1.12. So press 1.12 and then dot के आगे क्या है? 34. So it would be 1.1234. Okay, so if it was 6.81%, if this was R, then the 1 plus R you can directly type on the calculator. 6%, everyone knows 0.06 plus 1 would be 1.06. I'm sorry, 1.06. And then dot के आगे है 81. Look at the dot and dot के आगे है 81. So just type 81 after 1.06. Okay, so suppose R is 1.89% and you need to do 1 plus R. So you know 1%, that's 0.01 plus 1 would be 1.01. So in here it would be 1.01. I'm sorry again, 1.01 and then dot ke aage 89. So directly you can type 1.0189. So similarly over here, we're going to do little smartly. So 12% is 0.12, 0.12 plus 1 is 1.12. I'm sorry again. Yeah, 1.12. Raised to 1 is not required because anything raised to 1 is that number only. Like 5 raised to 1 is 5, 7 raised to 1 is 7, 1.12 raised to 1 is 1.12 only. So raised to 1 is not required. So directly take it up. And for taking it up, you have the inverse key. So press that 1 by x and then multiplied by the numerator, which is 100. So into 100. All right, so that's 89.29. Let me write it in terms of 2 decimals, 89.29. Now, in the calculator, there are some store functions which are already there. If you want, you can use that store function, and I will strongly advise to use that functions, which we had discussed in the last lecture also. Did we? Did we discuss the store functions in the last lecture? Did I tell you STO and the RCL buttons? Reply me in the chat section, guys. Did I tell you STO and the RCL button? No? Yes or no? Someone is saying yes, someone is saying no. It's okay. I'll explain it. So this answer 89.29, if you want, you can press STO1. I repeat, STO1. It will store the answer in the memory number 1. Okay, so the first answer would be stored in memory number 1. So I'll just write M1. M1 means it has been stored in memory number 1. Okay, so it's 89.29. Either you can write it or you can just store that in memory number 1. Storing that in the memory number 1 is a smarter way to do it. Next one is this one. This is again 1.12, but I need to square it. Okay, so let me do that 1.12 and then square it. Okay, so 1.12 and sorry. So I press 2. So I need to delete that and then press 1, 2. So how do I delete that? ये on off के पीछे there is a right arrow वाला key. So if I press that, then the last digit that you enter gets deleted like this. I repeat, I had pressed 2 by mistake. I had to press 1.12, but I pressed 2 by mistake. So I will not completely make it on off. That's a stupid way of doing it. That's actually not stupid, but that's a long way of doing it. So short way is just press this right word. So the last decimal that you have put gets deleted. Then press 1, 2. So 1.12. Then press square. So this is the button for the square. Directly you can press that square and then press equal to. So the denominator is done. 1.12 square equal to, so the denominator is done. Take it up by pressing this 1 by x key and then in the numerator you have that 150. So into 150. So second वाले का जो आंसर है वो है 119.58 approximately. Press STO2. So I'll write memory number 2. Memory number 2, sorry. And answer was 119.58. Okay, let's do the third one now. So I'll do that 1.12 raised to 3. This is 1.12 raised to 3. I need to do it. So let me do it. 1.12. For raised to, press this y to the power x. And 3 ke liye press this 3. equal to, denominator done, I repeat, 1.12 raised to 3 equal to, denominator done, take it up and then press into 200 equal to 142.36, or you can press STO3 to store that in memory number 3. Lastly, 1 plus r raised to 4, that's 1.12 raised to 4. 1.12 for raised to 4, just press y to the power x, that's raised to and 4 equal to. So denominator done, 1.12 raised to 4 equal to, so denominator done, inverse it and press into 250. 158.88, so press store 4, 158.88. Okay, we got the 4 answers, just add it up. So either you can type this because you already have noted down, you can type it, or if you want to use the calculator memories, press RCL1, that will recall the memory. Look at it, 89.29 plus RCL2, that will recall the second one, 119.58, plus RCL3, that's 142.36, and plus RCL4. So if you wouldn't have stored that, then you have to type 89.29, 119.5, so it takes time. So it's better to use RCL1 plus RCL2 plus RCL3 plus RCL4 equal to. So if you want your son to have proper education, you should have 510,000 rupees in the account so that he'll be in a position to withdraw this 100, 150, 200, 250 properly. Okay. Let me just take a poll and find out, is this concept clear? If you have not, just mark it no and raise hand. I'll help you out one more time, but at the time of helping her, I should know to whom should I enable the audio. Hence, I'm asking this. I'll take another example, don't worry. Please mark yes, no, clear, not clear in the poll. If you are marking no, please raise hand. Is this not clear? Please raise hand. Everyone has marked yes. I repeat, if it is not clear, if you have even slightest of the slight doubt, please raise hand. No? Everyone has understood it? Wonderful, great. Okay, so I told you that this is a long method of doing it. So there's a short method of doing it also. So let's see the short method of doing it. So for that, I'm just gonna delete this discounting, manual discounting. So let me delete this manual discounting. Okay, so now I am going to use another function of the calculator, which is called as CF function of the calculator, which is there in the second row, CF function of the calculator. So press that CF, you might see CF0 equal to 0. I am seeing this minus 100,000 because of the previous calculation that I have done. So please press CF, and after that you have to press second CEC. Okay, note the steps, CF, and then press second CEC. That will clear the work of the calculator. Okay, then talking about year 0, so year 0 ka cash flow we do not know. I mean, we are not going to withdraw anything in the year 0. Yes, we have to deposit something, but we don't know how much to deposit in the year 0. So let's leave that. So do not press anything for CF0. I repeat, press CF and press second CEC. And CF0 is cash flow in the year 0, which we don't know. Okay, how much cash flow is there in the year 0? It's X, so we don't know. So let's leave it. Scroll down. There is a downward key like this on the first row. So scroll down. So they will ask you for C01. So in the year 1, the cash flow is 100. So I'll press 100, enter. Okay, I'll press 100, enter. I said 100, enter. I not say 100 equal to. So I'll press 100 and not equal to. This is equal to, but I'm not pressing that. I'm going to press enter, this one. Okay. One more times. I'm just explaining for your reference. CF, second clear work. CF0, nothing. So scroll down. They ask for C01, which is 100, and enter. Anyone not clear till this step, please raise hand. This being the first example, I'm going to go a little slow. Anyone not clear with this concept, please raise hand. Yes, Varad. What did you didn't get? Let me know. What is it clear, or you raise hand? So just unmute yourself, please. Varad?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right from the start, right from the
Okay,
CF.
press CF. Press CF.
Yeah.
Press second CC. Are you getting CF0 equal to
Second
0?
CC. Okay.
Press second.
Yeah.
CC. Did you add?
Yeah.
Getting CF0 equal to 0 on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the year 0, we don't have any cash flow. It's year 0 ke liye X hai. So I'm not pressing anything for year 0. I'm just scrolling it down by pressing this downward key. What can you see on the screen now? C01?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the year 1, cash flow do we have?
100.
100. So press 100 and press enter. Enter is there on the first row.
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
All right. Then press, everyone press downward key. They're asking you for F, which is called as frequency, which at this point of time, you need to ignore it. I'll tell you when to use this frequency. So ignore it, whatever value is there, ignore that value. Don't put anything, just scroll down. They're asking you for C02. So C02 over here is 150. So what you need to do is press 150 and press enter. If not clear, raise hand. I repeat, you were at this step C01 equal to 100. You scroll down, there's some frequency which you're going to ignore. Then come to C02. C02 is 150. So press 150 and press enter. If it is clear, please lower hand. Varad, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're getting C02 150?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you press enter also?
Yes.
All right, scroll down and you'll get frequency. So ignore that frequency. Scroll down, you'll come to C03. C03 is 200 rupees. So press 200 and press enter. Okay, then press downward key. Ignore that frequency, press downward key C04 and your C04 is 250. So press 250 and press enter. So with this, you have successfully entered the cash flows and you want to calculate the value at t equal to 0. This value at t equal to 0 is also called as present value. T equal to 0 means today means present. Obviously, English you know it, that today is present. So t equal to 0 means today and today means present. So over here, you have a function called as NPV, which calls for net present value. Second row, third key, NPV, press that, net present value. They are asking you for I, and over here the I is 12%. Okay, so the I was 12%. Now, the calculator is programmed in such a way that for this function of the calculator, if I is 12%, you have to just press 12 and not 0.12, you have to just press 12. Okay, only for this function. You do not have to press 12%, you have to just press 12. Now you may ask the questions, ki aisa kyun hai? I can't tell you aisa kyun hai, because I have not programmed the calculator. Programmer has done that from the Texas companies. The programmer has done, I have not done that. So I can't tell you how to do it. I can't tell you why this has been programmed in such a way. Truly, they could have programmed it like 12%. They could have accepted that, but the calculator accepts 12 and not the percentage key. So over here, as the I is 12% on the calculator, when they ask for I, I'll just press 12 and not 12%. You have to remember that if you press 12%, your answer will be wrong. So you just press 12 and press enter. It's a common mistake that students, when they are not at fault, the calculator programmer is at fault. So press 12 and press enter. Then downward key. Then you get NPV equal to 0. On your screen, you'll get NPV equal to 0. That doesn't mean that NPV is 0. You have to press this CPT, stands for compute. Just press that compute button and you'll get the same answer that you got in the previous method, 510.10. That means you have to deposit 510 in order to satisfy this 100, this 150, this 200 and 250. Now, prima facie, you might have found that this method is too long. Why is sir saying that this is a shortcut? This is a shortcut. You will get to know when you are going to look at the second and the third example like that. I repeat this one more time. Press CF. Okay, by the way, just want to see how many want me to repeat it one more time. Just raise hand properly. How many want me to repeat it? I want to see how many want me to repeat it. All right, so Anjali, Varad, Sanat, Rohan, Aditya. Okay, I'm enabling your audios. All of you press yes.
Sir, I got 510.1004, but NPV I didn't got 0.
Okay, Anjali, I'll come to you. Everyone press CF. press CF and press second clear work and then say yes after I'm doing particular cell. I repeat, CF second clear work, is it done?
Yes, sir.
All right. After that, there is nothing in the year 0, so I'll scroll it down. C01 is 100, so press 100 and press enter. Tell me done or not done. Everyone.
Yes, sir. Done.
All right. Scroll down. Frequency, ignore it. So scroll down. C02 is 150, so press 150 and press enter. Let me know done or not done.
So the previous data is still there.
That's okay. Press 150 and press enter. I repeat, I repeat, press CF and press second clear work. That will clear the memories. You're not pressing second clear work. That's the reason the previous data was there.
Okay.
Press CF and press second clear work at the start. I repeat, CF and then press second clear work at the start. Previous data should not be there. CF and then second clear work will delete the previous data. So one more
All
time.
right. Okay.
CF0 nothing. So scroll down. C01 100. Enter. Scroll down. Ignore the frequency. Scroll down. C02 is 150. All right. Now, is the previous data was there for someone who was asking? Sanath, you were asking previous data was, is it there? Still there?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. So scroll it down. Ignore the frequency. Scroll it down to year 3. Year 3 has 200. Enter it. Scroll it down. Ignore the frequency. Scroll it down to year 4. Year 4 is 250. Until here.
Yes.
Yes or no? Aditya, Anjali, Varad, Rohan, Sanath. Done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Done.
All right. Press NPV button. The I is 12% over here, but in the calculator, you have to just press 12 over here in this function. So just press 12 and press enter. Done.
Done. Done.
Scroll down and then press compute button. Anjali, did you get 510.10 now? Anjali? And others, did you get 510.10? If yes, then you can lower the hands.
So before computing, I got 510.1004.
So
Why it is?
same answer, 510.1004. That's right.
But before computing, I got it.
Because that is all that was already there. So let's ignore. So if like I press NPV and I'm scrolling it down, so it's there, it's okay, but you have to still press CPD. Without CPD, your answer is not done. So it's the previous answer that you're seeing on the calculator.
Okay, sir. Got it.
You have to ignore that previous answer and you have to still calculate it. Aditya, is it clear to you? Aditya, is it clear?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Rohan, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sanath, clear?
Yes, sir.
Varat?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Fine. Rohan and Saptarshi. Yeah, Saptarshi, you have a doubt?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Come again?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have two doubts. Number one is when I'm doing it on my BA2 plus, it is actually after computing, it is giving me a screen which says reset 0.00. In fact, if I'm doing it,
That's because I think the calculator that you have got is having some misfunctioning. So
Acha,
what you
okay.
can do is you can try to replace the batteries of the calculator. It should work. Or
Okay.
at the behind of the calculator, there's a
No,
small.
I have actually tried that.
Okay, so did you change the batteries of the calculator?
No, I haven't changed the battery.
Just change the batteries of the calculator. That generally does the work.
Okay.
But if still not happening, then a calculator is in warranty. You can get it exchanged. It's a 3-year warranty for the calculator.
Acha, okay. And my other doubt is, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'll not waste time. My just
No,
one.
no, go on.
Yeah, the other doubt is if the frequency would have been monthly, then I would have put FS12, is it?
No, it's not like that. I'll explain that in a separate example.
Oh, okay.
All right, fine. So let's take another example. How many of you find this method to be actually not a shortcut? Just raise hand. I just want to see how many of you find this method actually not as a shortcut. The previous method was much better. How many of you in that criteria in that category that this method is a nonsense? Previous method was much better. Only one guy. Okay, fine. I'm happy. Actually, many people say at the first go, then they don't like CF function. But when they do it twice, thrice, then they find the CF function much better as compared to the normal discounting. So let's say the same kind of example, but let's say my son or daughter is going for a commerce course, which is a 3-year course and little cheaper course as compared to engineering. The fees is 40,000 in the year 1, 50,000 in the year 2, and 60,000 in the year 3. Okay, the interest rate that the bank is offering is now realistic, not 12%. It's, let's say, 3.5%. Okay, so how much money shall I deposit in the bank? Okay, how much money I should deposit in the bank? Let's try to calculate that. So I will do it with the help of CF function, and I would want you to also do it with the help of CF function. So press CF, then press second and CC. I repeat, CF ke baad second and CC is required to clear the memories of your calculator. If you don't do that, then past memories, that was C01, C02, C03, C04 will remain as it is. So after you press CF, you have to press second CC. Okay, year 0, there's nothing. So scroll down. Year 1, there is 40,000. So I'll just press 40. I'm not interested in the 1,000. I'll just press 40. 40, enter. Scroll down, ignore the frequency. Scroll down, year 2 is 50. Enter. Scroll down, ignore the frequency. Scroll down, year 3 is 60, enter. So year 3 is 60, enter. So 60 and enter. Then press NPV. Okay. The interest rate is 3.5%, but you will just press 3.5 and not percentage. You'll just press 3.5, enter, downward key, and then you'll press CPT. So basically you need to put approximately 140 rupees, 140,000 rupees in the account so that your son or a daughter can withdraw this, this, and this. How many of you got that 140, 139 before me? Let me take the poll. And if you have doubts, if you want me to repeat it, just raise hand. Yes, Dhairya.
Sir, I got 140.87. So it's fine.
Okay, let's look at it one more time with me. Press CF button.
Yeah, sir.
Press second CEC. Say yes.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, okay. Scroll down. C01 is your 40,000. So press 40.
Yeah, sir.
And press enter.
Yeah, sir.
Scroll down. Ignore the frequency. Scroll down. C02 is how much? C02?
50.
Good. So press 50. Enter. Scroll down. Ignore the frequency. Scroll down to C03. How much is C03?
60.
Good. Press 60. Enter. Then press NPV. What is I?
3%.
3.5.
Oh, okay.
3.5. Enter. Downward
Okay.
key and press compute. It's 139.44. Is it clear?
Yeah, sir. It's clear now.
Okay, one more guy's raise hand. Okay, Rohan. Yeah, let me know your doubt.
Sir, when I calculate, the interest is the one which comes in the memory. So it's not what I enter.
Come again, I didn't get you.
Whenever I calculate, interest comes which was in the memory.
You
It
have to
doesn't
type it.
clear.
After you press NPV, then they will ask you for I. So you have to type it.
No, but it comes what it was before, like the previous sum.
Okay. So you have to press, you have to overwrite on that. So it's okay. So after you press NPV, then they will show you some interest. That's okay. You have to just press 3.5 and press enter.
Okay, sir.
Remember
Okay.
Anjali was saying कि NPV के बाद when you press this downward key, then she was getting some answer. You have to ignore that and then press the compute. So similarly, once you press NPV, some of the default value of I could be shown on the calculator. Ignore that. You have to press 3.1 and enter.
Okay, sir.
Do it and tell me whether you got it or not. Till that time I'm taking other one's doubt. So do it and let me know. Yes, Varat. Varat,
Sir, I'm getting NPV as 150.
did you do the steps when I was doing it with the Dhairya at the same time?
Yeah, I was doing the steps
So
at the same.
just press CF again. I'm doing it for you one more time. CF. Did you press second clear work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, scroll down. Now press it now. Actually, press it along with me. Press CF.
Okay.
Press second clear work.
Second clear. Yes, sir.
Varat, reply please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, scroll down. C01 is 40,000. So press 40, enter. Scroll down, ignore the frequency, scroll down to C02, 50, enter. Scroll
Yes, sir.
down, ignore the frequency, scroll down, C03 is 60, enter. Done.
Yes, sir.
Pakka.
Yes, sir.
Okay, press NPV. What is I?
3.5.
Good. Press 3.5, enter. Scroll down. You're getting NPV 0. So press compute. You're getting 139.44.
Yes, sir.
Pakka.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was the mistake that you had done in the last step? I mean, you're getting 150 or something. So what was it? You typed some cash flow wrong by mistake or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Please do it along with me when I'm doing it. So do not go ahead of me. Do not fall back. In case you are missing some step at that time, raise hand so that I can enable your audio at that time only. So when I'm doing the keystrokes at that time, you do it parallelly. And in case you missed out something, just raise hand so that I can repeat it for you. Is it clear, Varun?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Yes, Daria, did you get your answer to be 139.44?
Yeah, sir. Got it.
Yes, Rohan.
Yes, sir. Got it.
All right. Yes, Anjali, you had raised and now you lowered it. So it's clear. Guys, after your doubt gets clear, please lower your hands. All right. So the next question is on the reverse way. What we are going to do is we are going to deposit certain money today, certain money at the end of year 1, certain money at the end of year 2, certain money at the end of year 3, so that at the end of, let's say, year 5, we will be in a position to get, let's say, 1,000 rupees. Or how much money, okay, a reverse way actually, let me put it this way, that in the year 0, sorry, let me put it this way, just again, sorry. In the year 0, let me not deposit anything. In the year 1, I'm going to save 100 rupees. In the year 2, 1,000 rupees. And in the year 3, I'm going to deposit 5,000 rupees. And in the year 4, I'm going to deposit 10,000 rupees. Okay, that's what I'm going to deposit in the next 4 years. And I want to calculate how much the value will increase to, how much the value will grow to at the end of 10th year. Okay, how much value will increase at the end of 10th year. So one way is a little long cut, which is about taking this cash flow individually from the year to the 10th year. That is 100, take it ahead from year 1 to year 10. So for that, you take 100 into 1 plus R and you're taking it ahead by 9 years, so raised to 9. Get the answer and store that in the memory of the calculator. Then do it for the next cash flow. So take it from 1,000 rupees, take it from year 2 to year 10. So 1,000 into 1 plus R raised to 8, and so on and so forth for the other cash flows also. This is a slightly longer way. The faster way is these 4 cash flows that you have. With the help of CF function, you get them in the present. That means you get their present value over here. Okay, and then once you get the present value, take it ahead directly by doing into 1 plus R raised to 10. So instead of individual cash flows, taking it ahead from year 1 to 10, year 2 to 10, year 3 to 10, and year 4 to 10, get those cash flows year 1, 2, 3, 4 in the memory number 0. And then you take it, I mean, in the year number 0 by doing NPV, and then directly take it in the year number 10 by doing into 1 plus R raised to 10. Now, some of the calculator, which is called as a professional calculator. So you might be using a plastic calculator, which looks like this one. But some of you may prefer to use another calculator, which looks like this. It doesn't look like this now. Actually, this is 2017. It was looking like this. Now it comes with a kind of it's a steel body, but the color of the steel has changed from silver to something gray. I don't prefer to use this calculator. There are some drawbacks of this calculator. One is the cost. The cost is around 1,500 more. But apart from the cost, there are other drawbacks of this calculator, which I'll talk about separately, but I don't prefer to use this calculator. But this calculator has one advantage, that this future value could be directly calculated. You don't have to take it in the present and then do into 1 plus R raised to 10. The future value could be directly calculated. But just for that advantage, I will not recommend to buy this calculator. So let me scroll it back to the student version. and then I'm getting RST equal to 0. This is what Saptarshi you are getting it. Saptarshi, you are getting this RST 0 always in the middle.
Yes, I was, yeah.
Okay, so just change the batteries, then you will be able
Yeah,
to get it properly. Just press, I mean, I'm getting 2 decimals now, so I'll have to convert that to 4 decimals. So for that, I will be doing second dot 4 enter. I repeat, second dot 4 enter, and then press on off. Okay, so what I'll do is I would be taking the cash flows in the CF functions. Let me do the CF function. CF. Second CC. It's important to clear the memory. So press CF and press second CC. This is important. Then there is nothing in the year 0. So scroll it down to year 1. 100 rupees. So press 100, enter. Scroll down. Ignore the frequency. Scroll down. Year 2 is 1000. So press 1000, enter. Scroll down, ignore the frequency. Scroll down, year 3 is 5000, enter. I repeat, when I'm doing it, if you don't get any step, just raise hand at that point only. 5000, enter. Scroll down, ignore the frequency. Scroll down, year 4, 10,000, enter. Everyone till here, do you have any doubts? If you have doubts, please raise hand. Everyone till here, raise hand if you're till here. Okay, let me ask it this way. Raise hand if you're till here. I repeat, please raise hand if you're till here. Praveen, Niral, Kushal, Jinal, if you are reached to this step, please raise hand. Elston, Ajinkya, Mohit, Aditya, Ayush. I repeat, if you are done till this step, please raise hand. Preetha, Sanat, Praveen, Aditya. Preetha, have you got this? Preetha, Sanat, Praveen, Aditya, have you got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, so after this step, just a second, let me disable them. Okay, so after this step, press NPV button. So you are required for I. So I didn't give you I. So let me give you the I as 11%. So what is the I that you're going to press? You're going to press 11 and not 11%. So 11 and press enter. Downward key and press compute. So the present value is 11,144.98. Let me press that as store 1. So I'm going to press the value in memory number 1. So the present value that I've got is there in memory number 1, M1. So let me write M1. Okay, so all these cash flows are being taken care of. Their present value has been taken care of in the memory number 1. And now from here, I want to take it to year 10. So for that, I will do into 1 plus R raised to 10. And the R is 11%. Okay, so here you have to press 11% only for that CF function, you have to drop the percentage key. So this has to be dropped only in the case of the CF function. Otherwise, it has to be like normal 11%. So 11% is 0.11 plus 1 is 1.11. Okay, so first I need to come out of this. So first I have pressed that store in 1 and then I need to come out of that. So either you can press on off, you'll come out, or you could press CEC to come out. Any method, on off will also do. Okay, so now press 1 plus 11%, that's 1.11. 1 plus 11%, that's 1.11. Then raise it to 10. So raise it to 10 equal to, and then multiply it by this M1. Okay, so multiply it by M1. So how do you recall it? So press into and recall 1. Okay, I repeat it, 1.11, that was 11% plus 1, 1.11. Raise it to 10 equal to, and then into memory number 1. So that is into recall 1. It's 31,650 approximately. That means all these cash flows which are deleted will grow to 31,650. That was, I think, 100,000, 5,000 and 10,000. So this will increase and grow to around 31,650. Is this clear or not clear? Let me know in the poll. If it is not clear, please or mark no or kind of clear. I kind of understood. And now please lower hand. I'm sorry, please raise your hands if it is not clear. One guy said it's kind of clear, so I would want to know what is not clear. Please raise hand. Yes, Aditya.
So I just wanted, I know the calculation, but I just wanted to ask that we have given only amount till 4 years. It's for other 6 years, the amount will not be the same, right? It will
In
change.
the year 5th onwards, there is nothing that there is there. I mean, so you are not saving anything from year 5 to year 9. There is no saving in the
Oh,
year
okay,
5 to year
okay.
9.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So you're saving only for the year 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th year, there is nothing that you are saving. So I'm not pressing 0, 0. So if you don't press anything, calculator will automatically take it as 0 only.
Yes,
In
sir.
the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th year, it's not that there is 10,000. There is nothing in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th year.
Okay, sir.
All right. So apart from him, everyone had been marking it as yes. Good. All right. So this was about the, okay, second, let me stop the poll. Okay, so this was about the time value of money. There is few more questions which I'll do in the time value of money, but right now I'm just shifting my attention to the other part, which is called as probability. Probability is nothing but a chance. Chance of a particular thing happening is called as probability. So for example, let's say the corona problem, the issue of corona will get over in 2020. What is the chance that you feel so? Some of you may say 80%, some of you may say 90%, some of you may say 15%. So everyone has a different version of what they believe the chance of coronavirus going away from the world in the year 2021. This chance is called as probability. Some probabilities are completely subjective, like this was completely subjective because there is no fair logic that you can come out of with. It's up to everyone's perspective that if I believe that there is 80% chance, that there is 80% chance that what I believe. So it's up to you what you believe. So for example, what is the chance that BJP will come again to the power in 2024? Some of you may say 30%, some of you may say 99%. It's no one is right, no one is wrong. Only after 2024 you'll come to know whether your prediction was right or prediction was wrong. So there's no logic. It's up to your perspective. I mean, you may believe that the leader Modi has done amazing things and hence he will come back to the power. So you believe 99% of the chance of the BJP coming back to the power in 2024. If I talk about level 1 February exam happening, so if someone asks me what do you think is the probability of level 1 exam happening in February, I believe it's 99%. Some of other people may say, sir, agar wo strain aa gaya, the number new strain of corona etc. hits India, then we believe that exam may not happen. So chance of exam happening might be 80%. Okay, so that's called as subjective probability. It may change from subject to subject. Okay, so it may change from person to person, which is called as it may change from subject to subject. Second is called as some probabilities which are kind of universally accepted. So for example, if I toss a coin, head 50%, tail 50%. Whether I ask Mohit about it or whether I ask Ajinkya about it or whether I ask Elston about it, all of them will say head 50%, tail 50%. So this is not subjective probability, this is logical probability. Head and tail has equal chance and hence head 50%, tail 50%. Okay, so if I toss a dice, if I throw a dice, not toss a dice, if I throw a dice, what is the chance of, Ayush, what is the chance of 1 happening? What is the chance that 1 will come on the top face of a dice? Ayush, good evening.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, what is the chance of 1 coming on the top face of a dice?
So if you throw one dice,
Sorry?
you are throwing
Yeah,
one
I'm
dice.
throwing only 1 dice. As of now, I'm throwing only 1 dice. So what is the chance
So
of 1
1 by
coming on the
6.
top face of a dice?
1 by 6.
1 by 6. What is the chance of 2 coming?
1 by 6.
Surely a 2 by 6.
So 1 by 6.
Good. This was just to test you. Good. The chance of any number coming on the top face of a dice is 1 by 6. So be it number 1, probability 1 by 6. Be it number 2, 1 by 6. Be it number 3, 1 by 6. 4, 5, 6. All numbers are equiprobable. That is, logically, each number has equal chance of coming at the top face, and hence the probability would be 1 by 6 for each number. So again over here, even if I would have asked Mohit or even if I would have asked Ashish about it, Mohit and Ashish also would have come to the same answer 1 by 6. Okay, so when the answers are unanimous because answers are based on the logic, that's called as a priori probability. Okay, let me write on the screen. Subjective probability and a priori probability. I think it's last may I. It's a priori. I think this one, a priori probability. All right. Suppose I ask a question, what is the probability of India winning a match? Okay, that's one. So 7 Jan, India is playing against Australia, third test match. So the cricket lovers may know it. Other guys may not know it. Other guys might be knowing about Australian Open, but I'm a cricket fan. So let's talk about India versus Australia, third test match. So if I ask, what is the probability of India winning the third test match? So let me just write India winning a third test match. Let's say let's say I believe it's 60%. India winning a third test match is 60%. Some of you may say, no, it's not that high. If Virat Kohli is not there and Ishant Sharma, etc., good bowlers are not there. So probably India's winning chances would be little lower. That depends on person to person. So the probability could differ from person to person. Now let me ask a particular question. What is the chance of India winning the third test match given that India wins a toss? Okay, what is the chance of India winning a match given that India wins a toss? ये जो given है that India has won a toss, based on this, if the answer of probability changes. So for those people who follow cricket, when you win a chance, that then you can decide whether you want to bat first or ball first. So with that decision, the chance of your winning is slightly higher because you have the things under your control. If you want to bat first, you can do that. If you want to ball first, you can do that. So when you win a toss, the chances of your winning are slightly higher. And hence the probability, which was earlier estimated to be 60%, slightly increases. This is called as conditional probability. The revised chance of India winning given the case when India has won the match is called as conditional probability. Similarly, revised chance of India winning given a case that Virat Kohli has scored a century. So given Virat Kohli has scored a century is called as the condition, and hence the probability would be called as conditional probability. So Virat Kohli scoring a century or toss being won was a condition. So when that condition is given, the probability is called as conditional probability. Mere India winning a match is unconditional probability because no conditions were given. India winning a match given India has won a toss, that's called as conditional probability. India winning a match given Virat Kohli has scored a century, that's conditional probability. How can we relate that in the economics or in the real world financial markets? Probability that stock price going up, unconditional probability. Probability that stock price going up given corona vaccine gets released in the year 2021, conditional probability. Okay, probability of stock market going up, unconditional probability. Probability of stock market going up on a condition that economy comes out of its problems. This is the condition, economy comes out of its problems, so that would be conditional probability. Okay, so this is the normal probability, unconditional probability, and conditional probability. Okay, in the probability chapter, we'll discuss more on that, but right now in the probability concepts, I would want to cover a few concepts which prima facie looks to be very difficult, but truly they're quite easy. But students from the commerce background, they have this kind of a fear that probability and these three concepts that I'm going to talk about it are very difficult. Truly, they are not difficult. They are very easy. And they are permutation, combination, factorials. Permutation, which is called as P or NPR, combination, which is called as NCR, and factorial, which is like ulta exclamatory mark. These three things are very easy. However, the students from the commerce background may have the fear that this is something which is going to be very difficult. Last 10 minutes, and this is going to be very easy. I'm going to introduce the concept and then we're going to revise it in tomorrow's lecture. When to use factorial, this is called as factorial, by the way. When to use permutation and when to use combination. You should know when to use each of this. The factorial is to be used when you have to simply arrange the things. There's no selection, there's simply arrangement. Okay, that's when you are using a factorial. permutation is to be used when you have to select the team. That is, you have to select some members and then arrange it. And combination is to be done when only you have to select it, you don't have to arrange it. Okay, so you have to know this thoroughly. Okay, so for example, you are a coach of, let's say, Indian hockey team, Shah Rukh Khan. And you know that Indian hockey team, there are 7 players. Am I right? I think there are 7 players, right? And a goalkeeper. So there are, I think, 7 players and a goalkeeper. Okay, so you have been given, team management has given you 7 players. You can't choose them. You have been given 7 players and you have to decide the order of their playing. So you have to arrange them. So you don't have a liberty to choose them. You have already been given that these are the 7 players will play in this match, and you have to simply arrange them. So this arrangement could be done in how many ways? In how many ways you can arrange it? This, in how many ways it can be arranged? Arrangement matlab factorials. Arrangement means factorials. So this could be arranged in 7 factorial ways. All right. So over here, you didn't have an authority to choose. You didn't have an authority to select. You were given 7 players and you had the authority to only arrange them. So this arrangement could happen in 7 factorial ways. So how to get the 7 factorial on the calculator? Look on the screen. How to get the 7 factor on the calculator? Just press 7. So press this key 7. And factorial के लिए ये into के ऊपर है factorial. Okay, into के ऊपर. So you have to press second, this button second, which you are using for the first time. No, we have pressed it. I mean second clear work time हमने वो second button press किया था. So press second and press into. I repeat, press 7 and then press second and into. So there are 5040 ways in which you can arrange the 7 players on the ground. Okay, there are 5040 ways in which you can arrange the players on the ground. Okay, let's say now you are a coach and you have the authority to choose 7 players. Okay, from, let's say, 15 players. However, how to arrange it is not in your control. The captain will control that. So you only have to choose 7 players from 15 players. So which function to use when you have to simply choose, but you can't arrange it. You have to only choose, you can't arrange it. So in this case, if you have to only choose and you can't arrange it, it's selecting, that is choosing, but can't arrange it, is called as combination. So here you have to use a combination function. So let's see how to use this combination. So in how many ways it can be done? In how many ways you can choose 7 players from 15 players? How to do that? So it has to be done like there are total 15 players. So I'll write 15. From 15, choose 7. Only choose, don't arrange them. Arrange, captain will do it. So from 15 players, choose these 7 players. So it's 15C7. Okay, 15 may say choose 7. How to do that on the calculator, on the screen? 15, so I'm pressing 15. Now C ke liye, you have to press second and this button plus. Nothing happens on the screen, that's okay. I repeat it, 15 and then press second and plus. So calculator has taken that as C, but it is not displaying on the screen. That's okay. And then press 7 equal to. So it could be done in 6435 ways. I repeat it. 15 for C, press second and this button plus, that is C, क्योंकि उसके ऊपर वो NCR लिखा हुआ है, that is C, and press 7 equal to. It could be done in 6435 ways. And last, suppose as a coach, you have not only authority to select 7 players from 15 players, but also you have authority to arrange them. So you can select also and you can arrange also. So this time you have to use permutation. Okay, so from 15, choose 7 as well as arrange them. That is called as permutation. So 15P7, because you not only have permission to select, but you also have permission to arrange. Okay, so that's permutation. So how to do that? 15 P के लिए P is there on the top of minus. So press second and minus. So that's P. And then press 7 equal to. So it could be done in so many ways. 32 lakh, whatever those ways which are seeing on the calculator. So 15 second minus, that's P, 7 equal to 32 crore 4,32,000. Am I right? No, I think 3 crore 24 lakh. No, I think 32 crore 4,32,400. 3.2 CR or 32 crore? Looks like 32 crore. No, it's 3 crore 24 lakh 32,000. I'm sorry. It's 3 crore 24 lakh 32,000. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's just a number. All right. So let me just ask you a question. Let's say you are a school teacher. Okay, you are not a school teacher. You are a monitor. School teacher has appointed you as a monitor, and she has given you a team of 3. And you have to arrange the players. So in how many ways it can be done? As you have to do only arranging, what you will do? You'll use factorial. So it could be done in 3 factorial ways. So how to do 3 factorial? 3 and factorial ke liye second into. Okay, so it could be done in 6 ways. Second example, let's say you are a school teacher this time. So you are going to select 3 students to form a team from a class of, let's say, 15 students. So from a class of 15 students, you are going to select 3 students, and then you are going to tell to the monitor, please arrange. You're not going to arrange, you're going to simply select 3 students from 15 students. So you're going to only select, you're not going to arrange them. So here you have to use combination. Okay, 15 में से choose 3. Don't arrange them, you have to simply choose them. You are not able to arrange them, so you have to simply choose them. So it's 15C3. If it was selecting and arranging, then permutation. So in how many ways this could be done? Let's see, 15C3. 15. Then second and C के लिए है ये plus. So that's 15C3 equal to, it could be done in 455 ways. Okay, and let's say you're a school teacher who is going to be completely doing your job sincerely. You're not going to assign it to anything to the monitor. So I'm going to select 3 students from 15, and you yourself are going to arrange them. So not only going to select, but you're going to arrange also. So you have to use permutation over there. So from 15, you have to select 3 as well as arrange it. So that's permutation. From 15, choose 3 and arrange them also. So 15 permute 3. How many ways this could be done? 15. Permutation के लिए press second and minus, that's permute. And then press 3 equal to, it could be arranged in, selected and arranged in 2730 ways. Okay, to summarize, use this key which is called as factorial if you have to only arrange. Use C if you have to simply choose, that is select, but not arrange. And use this if you have to select also and arrange also. Okay, permutation, combination, factorial, quite easy. Let me know whether it's clear or not clear. If it's not clear, mark it as no or kind of understood and then raise hand please. Quite easy. All right. Everyone please vote. So all those who have voted, 30 guys have voted. Understood it. Good. Good. So 100% of you understood it. Wonderful. Good. All right. So this was part 2 of Foundation to Mathematics using Financial Calculator. Last part will be done tomorrow. And then from the next week, we will be having Foundation to Accounts, 3 sessions or 2 sessions, depends on how long the duration will be. So this was 1.5 hour duration. And we are going to require 3 sessions. So this was the second session. Third session will be done tomorrow, same time, 4:30 to 6. So in today's lecture, we discussed about discounting. We discussed about using the memories of the calculator. We discussed about CF function. We discussed about 1/x function. And then we discuss about permutation, combination, and factorials. Any doubts? Just raise hand. In case of any doubts, please raise hand. Anything, I mean, not just related to the topic that we covered in general. If you have any doubts, please raise hand. Yes, Aptarshi.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the part where the monthly compounding or continuous compounding, you will be covering it
I'll be
later.
covering that, don't worry.
And I wanted to know if there would have been multiple cash flows in the last example that you did, where you have only done 5. There could have been 10 cash flows, then the
You'll
CA
have to press till
function.
C10.
So there is an option to press till C how much? I mean, even 20 can be
Yeah. I
accommodated.
mean, I think I have not tried it, but I think it will be there till C19, and I'm not sure. I have not tried it.
No, why am I asking this is there is also a formula. That formula does not need to be, I mean, there are no questions based on that, right? I mean,
No, so I mean, you will not be
in the
asked like
exam.
more than 5 years. Generally, they ask you only up to 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, that
But
was
if there
my.
are some cash flows, then the frequency key could be used. That's what you're referring to, which I'll discuss. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. Any other doubt? Yes, Rohit, don't worry about that. I'll upload that. Don't worry. Any doubts, please let me know quickly. Our session at 6:15. So if you have any doubts in the next 5 minutes, I can solve it. No doubts? Perfect. Fine. See you tomorrow at 4:30 for the final session on the Foundation to Maths using Financial Calculator. And then from next week, we'll be starting with Foundation to Accounts. I know engineering and science background students might have found the speed to be very, 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 very slow maybe. But that was deliberately kept because I want the non-science background students to be at par with you. And as a reason, I was doing at such a slow speed. The normal lecture, the speed won't be so slow. Okay, in the normal lecture, when there is a cons, then the speed will be similar. But for the other subject, the speed won't be so slow. Okay, and for the accounts also, the speed is going to be slow, which will actually irritate the commerce students. But that's okay. It's for science background students to bring it at par with the commerce students. So for the foundation to account session, also the speed will be a little slower like this. And in the actual lecture also, when I'm doing FRA, the speed will be slower. When I'm doing cons, the speed will be slower. But for other 8 subjects, the speed will be regular. All right.